what were any of my tips. Hi there friends, my name is Nicole and welcome to my channel if you've not been here before. If you have been here before, you might recognize that this is a new setup. I am all set in my new room at university for my last year, my senior year, which is a bit crazy. I will hopefully have a room tour up for you soon so that you can see more of my room. But first I want to give you some of my kind of tips and tricks for going into college or university. Because I just wanted to share them with you since I've done it for 3 years now and I'm finally going into my last year. So let's get started. Okay, so whenever I said on Twitter that I would be filming this video, one of my friends responded and asked how to deal with nervousness about starting university. I have a couple of tips for that. I will say first, I was so nervous whenever I started here, I guess 3 years ago now. I thought I wouldn't make any friends. I had been in school for about 7 years with mostly the same people, so I was really quite nervous. But here's the thing, everyone is going to be nervous. As a freshman or a first year, everyone is in the same boat because everyone is in a new place with new people, and you just have to keep in mind that really everyone's going to be a bit anxious and trying to make friends the first couple of weeks. Also, be well prepared. I looked up everything that I could about my school. I watched videos online from anyone who's posting them. I found blog posts, I found photos. I looked up the meal plan so I knew everything about it. I memorized my class schedule so that I knew that I was well prepared going in. My last tip is to bring games and food. If you have snacks, people will flock to you. When I was a freshman, my first night at college, we printed out a Cards Against Humanity set and my entire hall got together and played it, and I think I brought like Oreos out of my room or something, and we made friends so quickly, and 2 of the people that were doing that are 2 of my roommates right now. So you can make friends with food, I promise. Alright, my second tip is that college is a time to branch out and explore your passions. Sometimes there were things in high school that maybe you liked but you didn't have access to, or maybe there's new things at school that you've never heard about before. So this is a really great time to try something new. For example, it's a great time to try out a club sport or a news organization or any kind of club or society that your school has that's something that you've never done before. That leads great into my next tip, which is to join clubs, organizations, societies, whatever they're called at your school. Whenever I was a freshman, I joined so many clubs, and I'm still on the email list for a lot of them. But it was because sometimes a club, even if it's something that you really like, might not be the right fit for you people-wise or just in your schedule. So my theory is that it's best to join a lot of ones that you're interested in, because then over your first year, you can whittle it down to what you really want to be doing. So for example, my freshman year, I joined 3 different types of news organizations and then decided which one I really wanted to work for. And by the spring, I was just doing that. Another great tip is to find your favorite study spot on campus that works for you. I know some people who go to the library and study there all the time, but I personally can get nothing done in the library. I need some background noise or I'm too hyper aware of everything that's going on. So for me, I love 2 of my favorite coffee shops on campus. One is called the Oak House and it's perfect. I also go a lot to our Argo Tea that we have here on campus because they have so many good things to eat. I also know about myself that I will stay and study a lot longer somewhere that I can get food because I won't be tempted to leave because I'm hungry or thirsty. Whenever I was a freshman, I was really lucky and I didn't have any 8 a.m. classes. I actually didn't start most days until around noon. And one thing that I had to learn to do was not sleep in too much. Do not waste your mornings. You will regret it later. Obviously, try and get as much sleep as you can. But wake up, go to breakfast with your friends, get stuff done in the morning so that you have more time after your classes to hang out and relax. Now, for some of you, you might actually have a kitchen in your dorm setup, but others of you won't. Even if you don't, if it's allowed by your school, have a fridge and a kettle and a microwave if you can in your room. My electric kettle has saved my life so many times because you can use it to make tea or hot chocolate or noodles or any kind of cup food. It's so handy. Of course, some people like Keurigs if you're a coffee drinker. I personally don't drink coffee, so a kettle is much more useful for me. My freshman year, I loved having a fridge and a microwave in my room, and you can actually get them through my university here, because I could keep snacks on hand, breakfast food, and I could even make lunch like sandwiches and different things in my room. So that was really handy. One tip that I have for or incoming freshmen particularly, and something that I wish I had known my freshman year, is to build a diverse group of friends. That sounds a bit cheesy, but what I mean by that is don't only be friends with people who live in your building, and don't only be friends with people who are studying the same thing that you are, because it's really nice when you know people across a wide array of different studies, who live different places on campus, who are involved in different things, because then you get, I think, a much more holistic experience of your university, for one thing. Like, I know I had an issue with only really knowing people in the honors group that I was in my freshman year. And now that I've branched out and met more people, it's really nice because you can bring those people into your friend group and you just get to know a lot more about what goes on at your university. Speaking of friends, don't stress about Greek life. If your university has Greek life, obviously it's going to differ how much of the social scene it takes up. But I think the important thing to remember is that whether you want to go into it or not, it's your decision. You don't have to do what your friends are doing. And if they're true friends, they won't dump you because you don't rush your sorority or fraternity, or because you do. Personally, Greek life wasn't for me and I've never regretted that choice. But my roommate Lauren is in a sorority and it's never been an issue between the two of us. So I think you have to know yourself, explore it, and decide if it's right for you. But don't let yourself be talked in or out of it because of peer pressure. Not to sound like a total mom friend, but call your parents, call your friends back home, call your best friend, and keep in touch. One thing I'm so happy about is the fact that I kept in touch with my friends from high school that I'm really close to, because we have a really special friendship between all of us. And that means that I can reach out to them, particularly if I'm having a problem with someone at school and I don't want to vent to someone else who knows them. I can call one of those friends from back home. And call your siblings and your parents, because they will appreciate it and they miss you more than you can understand, because you're off exploring new things and they have an empty room in the house. I think that one of the most important things that you can learn at university is how to ask for help whenever you need it. Whether that means asking a teacher for help on an assignment, asking a friend for help dealing with a personal issue, or just asking someone for directions, it's important to know when you need help and be able to ask for it without feeling bad about yourself. And I think that's one thing that a lot of people forget when they come into university, is that it's okay to not know everything because you're new and it's something you've never experienced before. Parties. Obviously, when people go to college, there are parties, and I think that the important thing is to try out the college party scene and to know yourself. Some people don't like frat parties and they never will. I personally am not a great fan of them. So I've tried them and I don't really go to them anymore because I don't force myself into something that I don't want to do. But I also know that just because I don't like one type of party doesn't mean I don't like another. I really prefer just having chill gatherings with my friends when we hang out and play games together, and that's great. You just have to know that about yourself. Another social thing, eating by yourself is okay. I know some people who still get a little freaked out by having to eat by themselves, but honestly, I love eating by myself sometimes because it's a great time to catch up on YouTube or a TV show, or to look over work or read a book or get some more homework done. I just think it's really important to know how to eat by yourself and not be freaked out that you're alone. I also think that you have to find out where the places are at your university that it's most acceptable for people to be by themselves and that you won't be surrounded by big groups of people. That said, also, if you're really busy in a week, try and schedule friends to meet you for lunch or dinner or breakfast, because that way you can overlap your meals, which you have to be doing, in your social time so that you don't feel so alone. Okay, and those are my tips for people who are starting college or university or already in it and just want some more tips, I guess. I'm actually going to be doing, hopefully soon, a whole video on American universities versus British universities, because obviously I attend an American university, but I've studied abroad at 2 different British universities. So if you have any questions or comments or things that you'd like to hear me talk about in that video, then please do leave them in the comment box below. Similarly, if there's any kind of video that you want to see me film, make sure to let me know either on Twitter at NicoleAckman16 or in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and follow me on social media, especially my Twitter, again, at NicoleAckman16, because I'll be doing some polls and stuff on there about things for videos, like would you rather see this or that, or would you like to see daily vlogs, that kind of stuff. So if you want to have an opinion and to get to vote, make sure you follow me on there. Otherwise, I'll see you soon. Bye. I sound like a self-help book.